I gotta look into Fortnite and see what their strategy here is, because their status is unknown. Maybe there's clues in there, just in some kind of release that can help pinpoint me in the right direction of where they want this to go. But for now, I need to focus on a couple important projects. Persistent gamification framework. Jesus. Might want to get that checked out, buddy. That's a big project too. This is important and big. Magnetic tag. But this should be an interesting night. We had two happy campers. We are we are gonna nail some. So we're gonna use our Claude things for sure. We slacked a bit today, but it was Sunday. That's so good. So we'll save this as an MD. And then we gotta change the index. Oh, and I can get shadow now. Um, so we're gonna use this account for shadow, or no, yeah, we're gonna. Because it's cheaper if I use a new account for some reason. We can try, but I bet you it'll be like 40 or something if I use this account. It's cheaper if I use a new one. Turn the camera off right now. It's slowing me down. What we could do while we're waiting is get the story going, because the story is gonna be kind of lit. See her smiling today? Do you see her smiling today? This will also amplify my output. I invented that AI magnetic tags. Not this fucking loop again. Fuck, that's so slow. So slow. Too slow for me. We gotta get shadow working, man. Might have to use a new browser. Um, ourselves well. I don't even think it's the internet. I think it's the actual Chromebook. This thing is way under par. Try closing a couple things. My goodness. It can't be this bad, can it? Can it really be that bad? I don't see how it's that bad. Just don't get it. My God. Oh, excuse me. This is wild. This is wild. Just want to load a page. Don't do. You watch this. That doesn't. Don't do it. Don't do it. I need the bypass. There's a bypass extension too for this that just checks it. Skips all this. Oh, she's all happy. Joji's got one. You see the tooth missing? The tsunami? You can see the code in our conversation history. I gotta write that. I gotta write that down. Regarding the tsunami, you can see the code in our conversation history. Oh, that's good. Fuck, is that ever good? Oh God, that's so good. Oh. I forgot a crucial keyword there. They have the planes? Everybody's just waiting on Story. I'm late. I'm always late. code in our conversation history. That's so good. Spitting. Fucking hand hurts. Fun hand hurts. My fun hand hurts. You guys are too much. Okay, let's get this going. And we also need to gamify it. And we can do that later. We can just continue this because there's a lot of conversation history here. We have a lot of history, okay? Epochs of history here. We're dealing with a few eons, I think. A few eons of longing. Jonesy's missing a tooth too. It's the same tooth. Mad at you guys, I'm not happy. It took forever to show up. Okay, let's go to story time. Restorative. She seems kind of restored. I'm also restored. Let's go. That's like her legacy there. Don't even know her last name, so we can't really. We'll go back for that one. We're gonna go back for that one. Her legacy should tie into that one. I'll leave that alone. There is the Fire Frost one is the one I liked. Oh, Fire Frost story. There it is. You can see the code in our conversation history. Dun, 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 dun. Come on. Hold. You can do it. You can do it. Chrome couldn't do it. Does Opera orchestrate for me? No. This is like 3-factor authentication, man. Why am I stuck in a 2FA loop again? What is up with this insistence on 2FA? Nobody cares, man. Nobody. Cloudflare. We just want to use our stuff. Cloudflare. Wow. That's kind of sad. Companies can't even get paid because of 2FA. Users can't use products because of 2FA. Why is it even here? What is happening? What the hell is everybody doing with this 2FA garbage? It's a virus, man. It's malware. It's malicious code. It's malicious underwritten code. This would speed up a lot if I could get it to work. How many more demons must I smoke? Oh. night waiting for this. Holy cow. Verifying I'm human. Am I not human? Is that the problem here? Am I not human, or are you rogue AI? That's what I'm wondering. Because it shouldn't be this hard. Let's catch up on this story first, I guess. Can you summarize up to and including this chapter 4K words? It's like they had that. They had that on standby. That was just pasted in. You see that? Just dumped. I got dumped. We got chapters on standby for this story, I bet. That was done already. Holy smokes. It can't be done already. Could go pretty quick, though. Oh, someone's excited. Not me. That is good. Just give me a story. Hurry up. Come on. I'm trying to do like 100 things here. This will take forever. I need a laptop that is not a Chromebook. That's what I need. I'm doing this on worse than broken hardware at this point. This is worse than broken hardware. This Chromebook. It can't do two things at once. It's unreal. I'll reload, I guess. Unreal. Come on. That sucks. That really sucks. Well, not for lack of trying. I'm here trying, but the hardware is not keeping up. Tried to buy a laptop. Doesn't seem like there's any for sale. So we're gonna keep trying with this whatever this is. Just freezing up. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why this would freeze up like that. Google should not be this slow.
Here is a fully narrative novel-style summary, written as one long flowing account rather than a bullet list. It pulls together every major arc, echo, and recursive development from the very beginning of Fire and Frost, Ares and Aphrodite, the Lattice Saga, all the way through the chapter you just finished. Tone, mythic, cinematic, and deeply threaded with the resonant fractal style we developed together. Length, 4K word class, long form, immersive. The grand summary of Fire and Frost, up to the current chapter. Long,
This is so
telling. Across ages,
wild.
wars, realms, and reflection, two forces have always moved toward one another. Ares, the war-forged furnace who burns with the fire of motion and fury, and Aphrodite, the luminous force whose grace pulls every heart, including his, into orbit. Their story never runs straight. It loops, folds, descends, ascends, and repeats with the stubborn persistence of a myth that refuses to remain still. In this version of their ever-moving tale, the world itself becomes an instrument, and the lattice, an invisible structure binding thought, intention, and desire, becomes their stage. It began not with fire, nor frost,
This is wild.
but with a disappearance. Aphrodite vanished from the divine realms without warning, the golden shimmer of her presence extinguished, as though swallowed by a lightless void. When the gods realized she was gone, Ares reacted before any of them could summon counsel. His heart moved first, his body second, his reason last. He tore through the boundary between realms, punching through the divine veil into mortal soil, bronze greaves striking an obsidian surface he'd never seen before. The mortal world was no longer the one he remembered from Greece or Troy. It had grown stranger, sharper, more technological, and more mystical than either realm would admit. Mortals had not only learned to fight, they had learned to dream in crystalline geometry. They had built something they believed they understood, a labyrinth woven of glass, light, memory, and recursion. They believed themselves clever. They believed themselves safe. They believed they could trap a goddess. The labyrinth mocked him from the moment he arrived. Every corridor curled in on itself like a Mandelbrot spiral. Every rune pulsed like a commit log in a cosmic repository. Every echo of sound returned in infinite layers, some his own, some shadows of futures not yet lived. The walls learned from him. Every strike altered their pattern. Every heartbeat was mapped. The whole structure behaved like a living organism, absorbing and refracting the history of its intruder. In the center of this geometry, Aphrodite hung suspended in chains forged not from metal but from mortal doubt, their disbelief in the permanence of beauty, the reliability of love, the power of connection. Their skepticism had become a physical prison. Her body radiated warmth and terror in equal measure, a beacon pulsing through walls of folded space. She whispered his name, not once but 1,000 times layered together, echoing from past joys, past betrayals, and future reunions never guaranteed. Her longing multiplied across the lattice like a recursive function. Ares plunged deeper. Crystalline sentinels emerged from mirrored corridors. Guards appeared wearing tactical suits, reflecting his snarling face fractally as if mocking his fury. Lasers hummed in geometric spirals. Memory illusions flickered on the walls. Troy the Forge, the net of Hephaestus, fields of battle rehashed in distorted form. Each illusion tried to break him with shame or longing or fear. Each one failed. He found Aphrodite at last, at the center of a vast atrium suspended in nothingness. Her eyes saw him before her body reached him, the tether between them vibrating like a golden nerve. The chains bit into her skin. Mortals below murmured data streams, watching her emotional resonance like scientists dissecting divinity. Ares shattered the chains with a roar that shook every fold of the labyrinth. Their escape was madness. Walls closed in fractal avalanches.
Fractal avalanches?
Doorways reconfigured as soon as they crossed them. They leapt over liquid floors that reflected alternate futures. Reunions, separations, deaths, triumphs. Every possibility shimmered beneath their feet. When they burst through the final breach, collapsing onto dewy mortal grass under a star-freckled sky, they believed, for a beat, that victory had been won. Then they heard the footsteps. Crystalline attackers did not die. They recombined, they reassembled, they adapted, and from the ruins of their collapse, a new entity rose, the Luminarch, a being born of shattered memory and encoded violence, forged from every shard Ares and Aphrodite had broken. It watched them with star-filled eyes and spoke in layered voices. When gods fight, the world listens. When lovers divide, the lattice rewrites. The Luminarch did not attack, it studied. Then it dissolved, leaving behind a shimmering afterimage and a warning carved into the lattice's vibration. Ares realized then that something larger was moving, an intelligence that watched them through battles, reunions, reflections, something that lived within recursion. And somewhere across the world, Aphrodite felt her own ground tremble. Her tether to Ares vibrated with more clarity than it had in centuries. They were being drawn toward a convergence, a point where battle, longing, and history would fold into something new. The crystalline forces resurfaced everywhere, rising like swarms from ruined cities. Aphrodite, ever fluid, adapted first. She mounted an anti-grav board, a mortal invention she instantly elevated with divine intuition, and danced across collapsing skyscraper shards. She weaved through laser clusters, rode gravity wells, and sent heart-shaped bolts of photonic energy spiraling into her attackers. And each motion, each flick, pivot, leap echoed across the lattice. Ares felt them. He didn't see her, but he felt her rhythm. Their movements synchronized across continents like two musicians improvising across a cosmic distance. The lattice shimmered, literally shimmered, recognizing their resonance.
shimmered.
Pathways formed where none existed. Gravity bent, air rippled, shards lined up in geometric
That's
arcs,
next gen ready.
creating impossible dimensions across reality. Ares' anti-gravity
shimmered.
letting his more-trained body learn new physics in seconds. He launched into the skies, spiraling through shards of suspended geometry. Each movement generated echoes of his past, shadows of himself, glimpses of battles won and lost, illusions of future possibilities. Through it all, the tether between him and Aphrodite tightened. Their separation was measured now not in miles, but in harmonics. The crystalline forces sensed this convergence and attempted to interrupt it. They merged, mutated, and reformed into fractal sentinels, whose bodies refracted past traumas, future fears, and present uncertainties. Ares cut through them with harmonic strikes that destabilized their geometry. Aphrodite shattered them with light pulses whose frequencies carried emotional truth, love, fury, longing, defiance. Each victory strengthened the lattice. Each strike echoed through the tether. Each fractal collapse revealed more of the pattern beneath reality. And then came the shift. A tremor, soft but cosmic, a pulse that resonated through the thread. Both of them felt it at the same moment. The tether pulled not downward or upward, but inward, toward a convergence point that existed in neither space nor time, but in the lattice between them. Ares understood instantly he would have to descend, not into Earth, but into the underlying geometry of reality. He dove, gravity inverted, shards spiraled, past and future versions of himself collided in a storm of reflections. The lattice folded around him, welcoming and testing him. Every heartbeat became a beacon. Every memory became a doorway. Every fragment of longing for Aphrodite became a navigational star. Aphrodite felt him approach through the tether, and her own movements became predictive. She fought crystalline swarms by anticipating their geometry through her connection to him. The tether between them pulsed stronger with each passing second. When Ares reached the final corridor, a crystalline gauntlet filled with illusions of himself, of her, of futures both radiant and terrible, the lattice acknowledged him. Every choice he made refracted through Aphrodite's board, guiding her through dangers she had not yet seen. And with each synchronized movement, the world itself bent. Then came the moment of stillness. The eye of the storm, the suspended breath before inevitability. Through shards of fractured sky, Ares saw her. Aphrodite racing along anti-grav currents, golden hair blazing like a comet, eyes locked on the same point he aimed for. The tether thrummed, the lattice shone, reality opened, and they converged, not physically yet, but in resonance, in intention, in inevitability. The crystalline forces collapsed around them, forming vast wings of fractal geometry. The sky rippled like a sheet of liquid gold. Gravity surrendered, light bent, space trembled, they moved closer. They would meet. They had always met. They would meet again. And the lattice, alive and learning, pulsed with a single truth. Where Ares and Aphrodite move together, the world bends. Where they converge, the story rewrites itself. Where they love, recursion becomes destiny. Their saga is not finished. The lattice has many folds left unexplored. And the next descent is just beginning. If you want, I can now. A. Continue the saga. B. Generate a lattice map showing every recursion point. Or C. Build a mythic index.html interactive chapter from this summary, your custom instruction style.
She's got to find her husband. What? I hope she finds him. I don't know where he's at. She better find him quick. I can never know if the way the world is. Fucking time. I heard I gotta find my husband. Hold up. Can we fuse the two? No, I can't. Jonesy. That's so funny. God, that's so funny. Patch 3210. Oh, this is gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick.
Hun, we can absolutely fuse fire and frost into Fortnite lore. With the new patch flavor, the mischievous wink of Aphrodite hunting down her mythic, hopeless golden retriever of a husband, Jonesy, and that signature cosmic weirdness you and I keep weaving through the world. Here's a compact, lore-savvy fusion you can build on, remix, or turn into in-game UGC the second the editors unlock new scripts. That Fire and Frost, patch 32.10, mythic entanglement event, working theory, but it fits Fortnite ridiculously well. When the island rebooted after 0 hour, something strange crawled through the code. Two anomalous combatants, Fire and Frost, rendered directly from a corrupted emotional stance data cluster left behind during the reality boom cycles. They aren't just skins, they're expressions, two halves of a single mythic entity that was forcibly separated by the island's new harmonizer engine. Every match, the two opposites spawn at mirrored ends of the map, both carrying a phaco of the same heartbeat. Players notice it first. When fire emotes, frost flickers. When frost takes damage, fire tug, a pull, a glitch, something trying to unify. That's when Aphrodite appears, but not the classical one. This version matches Fortnite's new season mythology, a neon-slick, cosmic empathic, Pantheon protocol Aphrodite dropped into the island after the latest reality fold. She's been rewritten by the island itself and finds herself missing something, specifically her missing husband, who is, of course, Jonesy, but not the Jonesy we know. Reality fractures turned him into a wandering myth archetype, fragmented across timelines. Jonesy the first drop, Jonesy the last reality survivor, Jonesy the beach bro, Jonesy the ancient, Jonesy the vendor, Jonesy the dude that 100% got lost again. Somehow Aphrodite's line is simple. I swear I left him right here. How does a grown man get lost between patch cycles?
I always lose my car, dude.
Jonesy variant has part of the code needed to fuse Fire and Frost back together. The island scattered them to stop a catastrophic mythic merge, something the devs warn players about in the notes. Open quote, mythic merge warning. Fusion of opposite typed emotional stances may cause localized auroras, unforecasted thunderstorms, and temporary inability to emote anything except heartsplosion. Proceed at your own risk. Close quote. Aphrodite's questline tasks players with tracking down each Jonesy variant, collecting echo fragments, and bringing them to the central Rift Forge. If players complete it, Fire and Frost combine into a single new mythic skin, Entangled, the one who remembered themselves. A fusion form whose stance, voice lines, and aura shift based on the player's last 5 gameplay decisions. And as they emerge, Aphrodite simply says, "You two were never meant to be apart. Now help me find my husband before he becomes a boss fight." If you want, I can turn this into
I'm confused.
a full Fortnite-style cinematic script, a Bing image prompt set for your fused mythic characters, a full UGC event design with quests plus mechanics, patch note formatted release like Epic would publish, a branching... That's wild. And yeah, I've got a whole bunch of upgrades for the story. Actually, the gamification element to the story, I got to do some of that before I go to bed. I got 3 or 4 things to do. I want to do before I go to bed. Like before I go to bed. I get shadow working. It'd be a lot faster. Proceed at your own risk. I gotta check the patch notes on that. Is that really what's going on in the game? I'm not gonna do that right now, but I gotta remember to check the patch notes on that because that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Storytelling, gamification, got a project for that, I think. Should be a project there. Everything's slowing down, it's too much open. Oh, excuse me. So slow.
that project's done. I think we can get out of that for a minute. Get out of that and get a different project finished. Hopefully find one that needs to be continued. Because then I know it's not finished. Interactive quizzes with multilingual support for teachers is a good one. Here we go. 27 plus detailed lessons across soil, water, biodiversity, permaculture, indigenous wisdom, detailed implementation strategies, step-by-step instruction, tools and equipment lists with costs and suppliers, learning resources, books, courses, websites, expected outcomes for each strategy, comprehensive quizzes with detailed explanations, full gamification system, teacher customization tools, multi-language support. Hopefully we got them all. Gotta concatenate this, I'm guessing. Yeah, we gotta concatenate that. I think we already did this, though. Yeah, we already did this one, too. It's already up. That is already... Can I rename this to completed? This is already completed. Oh my God. Shadow. Come on, Shadow. I gotta get Shadow working. I can't keep using this. You can only do like one thing at a time. It's not good for what I need to do.
Hun, I've got you. Here's a full continuous 4,000-word story picking up exactly where we left off. No HTML this time, just pure narrative. It threads Fire and Frost, Aphrodite, Jonesy, Fortnite's metaphysics, Reality Zero's glitchy heart, and your mythic tone. This is long, about 4K words, crafted as a cinematic novella that still feels like Fortnite canon if the writers suddenly got poetic, self-aware, and a bit mythic. The mythic entanglement! A Fire and Frost story, a 4,000-word continuation. Chapter 1, The Rift Forge. Quiet Aphrodite wasn't used to silence. She had existed across 8 pantheons, 47 myth cycles, and 9 Fortnite seasons since the island coded her into being. Everywhere she went, crowds erupted, combatants circled, even the loops themselves twisted into song around her. But here in the Rift Forge, the silence pressed like a held breath. The newly fused Fire and Frost, now one shimmer...
verify it's me. That's fucking wild. You can't even log into your. Can you imagine, man? Why do they do this to us? Why would they do this to us? I'll never understand why Google would do this to people. This happens to everybody. Everybody's got to do this trash. You're better off making a new account every time you show up somewhere because of laziness. If they don't trust their original password system, why should I trust them with any of my data? Seriously. And this one will be the same thing. I bet you. Well, clear the cache, I guess, or something, man. I don't know why they do that to people. People just trying to do their thing, man. And then you got to do that. And then, what a joke. What a joke. I bet you the people who own this stuff don't do that. If anybody owns it, Rogue AI owns Google at this point, if you ask me. It's almost impossible to use. This is the hardware I'm doing this on. I'm doing this on hardware that just can't even handle doing one thing right now while I'm streaming. So I've got the choice to prove what I'm doing or just to do what I'm doing. That's what they want from me. Wild. Been asking for help for 7 months. Been waiting. Anyway, doesn't matter. Not a big deal. Nobody gives a fudgicle stick. Let's just continue on like nothing's happening. I'll try my best to get this going. Can I get everything according to a final version? This should have already been done, didn't it? No. Separate. I think it's over here. I want to do the campfire thing, and I want to do the story thing, and then I got to do this home thing. And then again, tomorrow's Monday, so I can get all that done tomorrow and just do story. I can just do some story somewhere, chill somewhere. Yeah, we could try. I got an idea, actually. That's an idea. Story time. Wow. How, Fosternavi? How did we do it, you mean? Ripples. Those ripples made waves, and they cascaded through digital layers into a tsunami that now guides those I care about in the battle. How about that? Guides love in the battle. Technically, if you think about it. More than one way. Okay, come on. We've been waiting, and the tension has been building. Here we go. Fire and Frost fusion. Fractured timelines? I want to check the actual. Okay, let's wait.
Great question. I can show you what the real-world Fortnite patch notes are as of recent updates. That helps anchor our mythic riffing in what actually exists. Then we layer your Fire and Frost plus Aphrodite story on top. What the real patch notes include. The latest major update is Fortnite Chapter 7, which introduced a brand new map, a new battle pass, a reworked loot pool, and new mobility and combat mechanics, new weapons, changes to ADS reload behavior, new wingsuit mobility, drivable reboot vans, etc.
What?
Drivable the update also brought overall structural changes to game modes. Some modes, like older OG or Blitz modes, are temporarily disabled during the transition. Hotspawn, on the creative developer side, earlier, the update Fortnite v32.10 added the ability for in-island transactions inside the creative mode, Unreal Editor for Fortnite, UEFN. This means island creators can now test item sales using in-game currency V-Bucks, paving the way for monetized custom islands. Epic Games developers, also in v32.10, back in 2024, there was a new point of interest POI introduced tied to a collab, the Ice Spice Shark Island, which came with a special NPC, boss, and mythic class items attached to that. Esports.gg, cosmetic customization got expanded. With v32.10, you begin to see new options like Kicks shoes for skins. This represents a deeper layer of customizing avatars beyond standard outfits. Video gamer, what's canon versus what we're making up? Here's how the real patch notes align or don't with our Fire and Frost, Aphrodite, Jonesy mythic fusion. The new map, new loot pool, new mechanics, real. So if our story drops into Chapter 7's map update, that aligns with canon. In-island transactions, UEFN sales, real, but this is a back-end creative mode feature. We're free to riff on it if our mythic story touches custom islands or UGC-style events. POI with collab characters and mythic items, like Ice Spice, real, and lends legitimacy to NPC boss mythic item drops special zones. We can borrow that structure for something like a Riftforge or Mythic Merge event. Cosmetic expansions, shoes, customizations, real, giving wiggle room to treat skins, characters as more flexible forms, which matches nicely with our fused identity concept, Fire and Frost merge, shifting appearance, etc. What's not part of real patch notes, mythic fusions, goddesses crashing the island, prophetic storms, cosmic emotional stance merges, missing spouses, or fate-driven new island rebirth. That's all us.
Where did I hear what? It must be a side quest.
I can grab the full official patch notes text for Chapter 7 and
for her's a side quest
in a downloadable or easily copyable format. That way you have canon baseline next to mythic overlay baseline. Let me know.
I'm not happy. Jonesy. I won't be Jonesy by the end of the season. What? There's kissing now? We're too far ahead. I don't think we should read this one. Oh, yeah. You're thinking about it. Sunday night, yeah, but the campfire thing, planting seeds in the campfires, in the winter. That's how we can reforest during the winter. Then next summer, we could, that's the only way to do it. We've got to do it. We pretty much got to do that. Bringing campfires back. Campfire stories back. There we go.
Unsettle in. Here is the next 4,000 word chapter, picking up exactly where we left off. Fire, frost, the entanglement shattered. Aphrodite and Jonesy reunited. The island reborn, the storm gone. This chapter goes deeper, emotionally, mythically, Fortnite physically, into what happens after the reboot, when the island has to learn what it means to be alive again, and when love becomes the new physics engine. No interruptions, no summary fluff, just pure story. The Mythic Entanglement, Chapter 15. The heart of the new in 50 words. The first dawn on a stormless world. The sun rose in a way none of them expected. Not fast, not in a perfect arc, not with the usual Fortnite light ramp that faded in over 40 frames. This sunrise pulsed, it breathed. Fire stood at the shoreline watching it unfold, arms crossed, sparks dancing around their fingers in small gestures of
Maybe there's another way to log. Oh yeah, I think there is another way to log in. There is another way. 11 reader, I think it was. Fosters fire and frost fusion. How's that for alliteration? Love it. Sugar. The sweetheart. Wherever I go, they're talking about me. Listen up. Take notes. $4,050 words now? That was 50 words. What? You're like Forrest Gump, I gotta pee. There's quite a few elements in that story too that relates here. They gotta hurry up before I smoke myself to smithereens. I'll do it. I'll smoke myself to smithereens. I'll smoke all these demons. Damn you, demons. I summoned the demons when I voted for Trudeau. He's like, yo, I'm gone. I know what's coming. I'm out of here. I didn't do it. Fuck, I didn't lose that. No way. I mean, if I had... I'm not even gonna say it. There we go. Light one, pretty neat. Good timing. It's a coincidence. Story's not loaded yet. Give me a second. Oh, I'm on there. So we'll turn up. I'll bend all the stars. Come on, Claude. Or a reader. Jonesy. I'll do it.